How is everybody tonight?
Good.
Take it y'all had fun tonight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely.
Alright. Tonight I would like to talk to you guys about righteousness. Today in class we talked about the breastplate of righteousness. What does righteousness mean to you? I found a definition that righteousness means to be given to. First thing we're going to look at is Psalms 112, verse 3. If you have your Bibles, would you turn there with me? Wealth and richness shall be in his house, and his righteousness endureth forever. First off, by reading this, righteousness is in our hearts, not in richness and wealthiness. In what God has put in our hearts, that is what we have as righteousness. God is always righteousness and is knowledgeable about if we should ask for something, if it may not be always righteous. Means one of God's as we look, one of God's greatest gifts are His unanswered prayers, which He knows what is right for us. Let's look at Psalms 119, verse 142. It reads, "Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth." Righteousness is a gift from God, and we receive it by faith and obedience. So we should always follow His examples. From reading this, righteousness comes from faith and obedience. I don't know if y'all know me very well, but I've had a little bit of faith and everything, but I had a little experience a couple months ago. It was kind of the tip of the iceberg for me that made me really turn to God for help, which made me have faith. Back in March, I was in school. I was getting bullied a lot. Well, turns out I was playing my game and I messed up. So I said, "Come on, Brandon, get your head back in the game," basically, and stuff like that. Well, anyways, this guy turned to me and asked me, "Are you gay?" I'm like, "No. You should know this because I dated your sister." Which was a true fact. I didn't. Well, he really didn't like that, I guess, because I saw him in the corner of my eye after I started playing my game again and everything. Well, next thing I know, he starts pummeling me in my head. And I got beat up pretty bad. I got a bruised jaw and a mild concussion from it. But that made me realize that when I had faith, I could always turn to God. I turned to God, and He helped me through it. I was able to sleep better. I was able to go to school thinking, "Oh wait, I'm going to be safe today. I'm going to make new friends and everything." But let's look at Romans 4, verses 1 through 4. If you have your Bibles. "What shall we say then that Abraham our father, as pertaining to the flesh, hath found? For if Abraham were justified by works, he hath whereof to glory, but not before God. For what says this Scripture? Abraham believed God, and it was counted unto him for righteousness." So, this is talking about Abraham. My bad. But listen, you can always be the best person you can be. But righteousness only comes from God. Even when Sarah and Abraham was 100 years old, God still kept His promise that they would just only have to do a couple things. Righteousness and faith in order to have their little baby Isaac. Well, I don't know if y'all see what I'm looking like. I'm wearing camo. I thought I'd wear this for a reason. Don't be afraid or be like an animal and camouflage your things from your predators, basically. Get out there and wear the brightest color that you can wear to show that you're a God's servant. And show out the righteousness that you have. So in conclusion, I challenge all of you tonight to try to be more righteous and show off your righteousness.